Welcome to week 2 of the updates to the dog pen playhouse conversion to hen house chicken run. And I'm going to show you what all I've gotten done. And we're going to start first with me cleaning out the playhouse. I was really surprised at how much stuff was in it and just how bad it really was. But let's jump right on in. Good grief. Wow, I knew it had a lot of stuff in it. The stuff that's in it though is kind of funny. I mean, there was, like I said, some toys. There's an old little toy water can. I got some mud flaps I found in there. Lots of hay, lots of hay. Some of that was still bound up in a square, but when I started tugging on it, the rope broke and it just kind of all just came out. Some more little toys. My son's little tractors. I have it cleaned out. Ouch! Okay, so that's the problem I have with that door. Is every time I walk in, I either bump my head or my back getting in here. Alright, let's see if I can zoom out. Okay. It's cleaned up. Despite how it looks. It's pretty crappy. I mean, it's still I've got spider webs and stuff I got to get out of here, but it's, you know, it's kind of gross. But like I said, it's been sitting for a number of years. And I can see where it looks like cats have been up in here whizzing on the walls. It doesn't smell too bad in here. I thought it might, but I think it's okay. I am going to, I've got to fix this linoleum. When I built this playhouse, somebody had given me a scrap piece of linoleum, but it was not wide enough to go that way, but it was longer, so I was able to cut a piece off and stick over here. And this was glued down, but through the heat in the summer, it has come undone. So I probably can't get it to glue back down because of all the dust that's underneath it. I can't get it all out. I'll probably get a real thin piece of wood, a trim piece, and about that wide, about that thin, and just nail it down over it. Once I get the chickens here, this is going to be covered in pine litter anyway. You won't ever see that anyway. I want to paint at least this wall. I may do them all. I probably will if I can. I'm probably going to kills it first. And then I want to paint it with a paint that I can clean well, because I plan on putting my roosting bar right here on this wall. And I know just from experience they will evidently get poop on the wall, even if I bring it out enough where they should poop right down below, it will get back there. I want to be able to wash it off, clean it off easily. And the only way to do that is going to be to paint it with a washable paint. Whew, I just wanted you to see the inside after I cleaned it up. I thought, man, I need to get a mop out in here to this. But the chicken's fixing to poop all over it anyway. And I'm fixing to have the chicken litter down, so I'm not worried about cleaning this out or up. The nesting boxes are going to be here. Somehow I'm going to have it fixed so that I can access it through that window, pull this screen out, put a door on it from the outside. I'm not sure. I may have to do a second one because I don't know that. It just depends on where the divider is for that box, nesting box. Well, I guess it could come over enough where I could still get a hand. I think I'm only going to have 2 boxes. I don't know. I may do 3. I don't know what I'm going to do. That may be down the line. I may just get the boxes in here and deal with that later. It's hot up in here, that's for sure. I mean, I'm just dripping sweat, but it is so humid. We have some storms moving in soon. At least I can stand up in this right in the middle and just a little piece off to the side. Yeah, about right here. Here to there, I can stand up without hitting my head. And fortunately, I don't see any nails, roofing nails sticking through. That was the other thing I was concerned about, is me bonking my head on any nails. There's one on that knot, but my head won't be up there. I think I'm okay. I think I'll be all right. Fun times. And I do it to myself. It's going to be worth it once all this is done. And I get the chickens and I start getting eggs and I start just enjoying having the chickens. It's not just about the eggs. I mean, that is a huge thing, but it's just the chickens themselves are just a whole lot of fun. I know this looks terribly gross, and y'all are probably just like, ew, what the heck? It's not as bad as it, well, maybe it is. It's a hen house now. Back when this was fresh and the kids were playing in it, it was nice. It's just taken, I mean, through the years, it's just gotten gross. Oh, Lord have mercy. All right, let me get busy. Well, here's a quick little update. I was going to paint this the other day, and I was going to put the kills all over this, but when I got in the house, all I had was just a teeny tiny bit in that can, so I just had hit the corners. I was just kind of cutting in around everything, so that when I got some more primer, I could just go ahead and roll the walls. But went to Walmart to get some more of the primer and also some paint. But this paint that I picked up has paint and primer in it together, so I am not going to waste the other gallon of primer that I bought. I can use that for something else. I've got some more work on my house I have to do, but I'm just gonna use this and just cover it, and hopefully it does a good job. Really, the main thing is I just want to make this where it's washable. That's what I'm about to do now. This is called Farm Fresh. Isn't that coincidence? I'm getting my little chickens here on my little farm, and it's a real pretty light sage color. I think it's really pretty. So I'm just going to roll that on. It should go pretty quickly. I'm going to use this little roller and get it all on here. I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. I have 2 coats on this. It looks decent. It probably could use a third, just because this wood was really I guess dry, and so it kind of just soaked up the paint. But you know, this is just a hen house. It's not like it's a house. Feels good and slick. That's kind of what I was looking for, so that I can clean it when any poo-poo gets on it. Can't remember if I showed you the trim piece I put down there. I mean, that's not ideal, but that's where those 2 pieces had been glued down years ago, and then the heat has made them curl up and there was a crack. I think I showed you that before. You know, I just got to put this trim piece back down at the bottom of this when I come back out with a hammer. Not real secure, is it? I may fill that with caulk. I didn't realize that there was much of a gap in that thing, in the door. That's going to be drafty. Not a bad thing in the summer, but not in the winter. It's not good. Oh, I know what I can do. I can just get the same kind of trim piece like that and just put over it, maybe on the other side, and then paint it. That's what I'll do. All right, I came back and put a 3rd coat on this wall, that wall, and that wall. I went ahead and painted this cabinet, and I got the roosting bar put in. And I just went out to the old chicken house, which is about to fall in, and got the roost bar that I used years ago. And I put it on these hangers so I can take this thing out, and, you know, just in case I need to move it. Get it out of my way so I can clean the inside or take this out and clean it off. I had to cut very crudely some off of this so that it would fit in that. I just happened to have those hangers, and I wasn't going to go buy the wide kind just to fit this. But that works. Got that done. And while I was in here, I realized that once I put the pine shavings in here for their litter, I realized I'm going to have to put some board wherever this door opens to keep the litter from getting back here, so it's going to plug up my door and not allow me in. I'm going to have to put it high enough where they don't throw it over into that area. So I'm probably going to have to do like an 8-inch, 6 to 8 inch, just kind of some boards just where this door opens. What else did I get done? I think that's pretty much all I did all weekend was paint. It was so hot, and then we had storms, so I didn't get a whole lot done. I fixed this channel here that this plexiglass slides in, but which I'm not going to be using once the hens get in here. But what I'm fixing to go work on now is about to work on the top of this door. I'm going to do similar to this and extend up from here and just have it fit pretty snugly right around here. Frame it out, get it fit real tight, and then cover that in chicken wire. I think that'll be the best. That way when I open this door, it's a whole thing that comes open. I don't have to duck going in, because I already know if I have to duck going in and out, I'm going to end up bonking my head and it's going to make me mad. So I'm going to go ahead and do it the best I can. This tin sure does give it a lot of shade. Anyway, after I work on the door, I think my next thing will be this. I got to cut into this wire. I've got some flat bar that I'm going to use to frame out the hole in the fence to steady that up, and then I'll work on the chute that goes up into there. Yep, that's what I'm gonna do. Got the top of this door done. That was not fun. I had a hard time with it. It was one of those days where everything I did just didn't work right. I beat some things up and broke a tool and in my frustrations, but the door's pretty much done. I need to come up with, I'm thinking this is just a flip deal. Raccoons are smart. I could see one climbing up here and figuring this thing out. I've got to come up with a better solution to keep them out of this. And it may be I don't know. I forgot to do a little research. But I'm going to work on that. I got some, this looks so crude, but it's secure. I mean, it works. I got some flat bar, and well, you see what I did. I slipped it down in here, cut out what I needed, and wrapped some of this the cyclone fence around it to secure it. This is in here really tight. This kept slipping down through here because this is not real tight. I ended up having to just kind of take some wire and wiring it together until I could get some other stuff on it. Again, like I said, it looks a little crude. I don't care as long as it works. I have temporarily placed some wood in here as just kind of getting some ideas of what I need to do about this, them gaining access to the run. This is just kind of my brainstorming ideas for now. It's just, like I said, tacked into place. It's not totally secure. I got one screw in it up there. I'm just thinking. I'm not 100% sold on this, but it helps me to think through it like that. Now I've just got this little piece of tin. It's just sitting up there. I know. Let's go around over here. I know that I'm going to have something up here to keep rain from going in this window, and it needs to hang over a little bit. This plexiglass won't be here anymore. I'm going to frame this out here. I'll tell you what, let's just go inside the playhouse. All right, so my current thought is I've got to obviously make this window smaller. I am going to get a solar-powered automatic door eventually, and it's going to fit on here, and it's going to have to move up and down, and I've got to find the dimensions on it. I think it's only 8 inches width, but I'll check on that. But I'm going to end up framing this, taking this down a little bit smaller here, and I'm going to have a piece of that hardware cloth that I'm going to put on this side of it for ventilation in the summer, and then I will use this plexi in the winter to close it off from the cold. But anyway, so I'm going to get a 2x4 and put here to frame this out. And then from that, and again, like I said, this is all just kind of brainstorming. None of this is permanent. I'm going to have to put chicken wire, something to secure this, to keep anything from getting in from this way. And I'll secure this. That's to keep rain from coming in. I hope that'll be wide enough. I think it should be. It's kind of my thoughts right now. I did cut that hardware cloth that I had pulled off earlier to fit this one, and I've just got it tacked on here until I'm satisfied with everything. Keeps varmints out, hopefully. And I've got staples in it now. I'm going to come back with some longer screws and with washers to secure that really well. There's plexiglass on the other side of that right now, but in the summer that will come off for ventilation, and in the winter it'll go back on. The only thing is, for the summer, I've got to address rain. I'm going to have to build just a slight little awning over that to keep the rain from blowing in and getting things wet in here. I have some more of this real thin plywood. I may maybe do a 4-inch piece that goes from here to the top just to help with blowing rain, just to keep it from going in. I don't need anything rotting prematurely because of that rain. Yeah, I'm still just kind of brainstorming this, how to make this secure. It will have chicken wire, or either that or hardware cloth, whichever I have. I think I've still got some chicken wire left. Is going to go on this to keep any varmints out. So I'm going to have to attach it really well to this and to that. Another thing I need to do is I need to address this roof. It's 25 years old. I don't want to develop a leak in the middle of me trying to raise chickens and have issues and have to re-roof it then. So I'm going to probably go ahead and get this taken care of before I remove the chickens in here. Now these two little pieces are, this is actually some pieces off my parents' roof that I snagged. They're getting their house re-roofed. They had a tree fall on the house and the back of the garage, and anyway, it's just been a big ordeal up there. So I had snagged some of these that they had pulled off, and I'd stuck a piece up there on that corner where Gypsy had pulled off the end, and I thought I was going to use this to slip up onto the edge to kind of reinforce this, where some of this has gotten kind of dilapidated. I had a limb fall out of the tree and it hit this. But I think now what I'm going to do is just re-roof it. And I've got some roll roofing in the shed that I can use. That thing is bowing. It's not rotten, but it's bowing. Then I'm going to paint the outside. And I think I'll pretty much be done. Now for the summer, I need to get some solar fans. I've already been looking at some of those that look like they would work well. I need to find one with a thermostat though. And I will likely put that, probably going to mount the solar panel somewhere back here. I might even put it up there, I'm not sure. And have the fans blowing. Back here on this side, this board technically is kind of getting rotten. I don't want to have to redo the plywood, and I will probably ignore this, re-roof over it, and just do a good job of make sure the water stays off of it. And yeah. Okay, well, that's where we stand for now. We will see you later.